What's going on, guys? The Film Fan Reviews. My name is Stephen Barton II, and today we're talking about the new entry into the Fast and Furious world. I don't think it's technically a franchise film. I'm not really sure how you would say it, but it's Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Now, going into this movie, I was a bit apprehensive. I really hated Fate of the Furious, the 8th movie. I watched it. I turned it on twice, fell asleep the first time about halfway through it, tried to start it again from the beginning, and I'm like, nope, I'm just going to skip halfway to what I remember and just try to continue because I don't really care about this movie. I don't think the story was all that good. It's definitely noticeable without Paul Walker, sadly, but I wasn't too excited. I mean, the closer I got to this movie and after I saw the trailers for Hobbs and Shaw, I was instantly more interested just because I'm a fan of movies in general. I love the big dramas that come out every year. I love the big, huge blockbuster movies and everything in between. I mean, I can't really say I'm connected to one genre or anything like that. I like stupid comedies. I like stupid action movies. And I just love to be entertained. And I love filmmaking in general. So when I saw this movie seeming like a buddy cop movie from like the 90s with just some ridiculous action and silly, quippy humor, I was instantly on board, especially with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham being the stars of the movie. They always have quippy dialogue whenever they're in movies, even by themselves, and I knew together they would just work so well, and they really, really do. So yeah, my only thing I really wanted out of this movie was just a fun action movie, and then on top of it, we got a bunch of really good comedy, so I mean, it just worked so well. A major standout as the villain, Idris Elba. He was kind of like a Terminator kind of villain, but also was still human at the same time, but he was almost like a superhero type thing. And he calls himself in the trailers Black Superman multiple times, and it's pretty much how he is. The fighting in this movie was really cool, but I wish it could have been better, especially with David Leitch directing it. I thought it would be more like John Wick, but it didn't get there all the way. There were some really cool shots in the movie, but part of the hand-to-hand combat was really cut up in like all action movies in Hollywood now. And it was kind of just sad to see that because these two guys are trained and can do that kind of fighting stuff a lot. I know they have stunt doubles for some things, but I feel like they'd be really good at fighting if they wanted to. And I feel like the director and director of photography definitely could have probably played around with that a little bit more, but I understand why, because it wasn't really that necessary and keep everybody safe and everything, but I think it just would have been a lot cooler. So yeah, this movie definitely felt like it reinvigorated that feeling from the 90s of buddy cop movies, but hinted in some of these newer stars and some newer technology with it and everything too. So it wasn't just like, oh, these cops are chasing down this bad guy. They were actually being chased after, which was interesting. And they were trying to get stuff done while trying to run, so that always adds a little bit of momentum and just on the edge of your seat type feelings the whole time. So yeah, if you're going into this movie expecting like the next John Wick or some really awesome, extravagant action movie that's very serious, this is not the movie for you. I don't know what you were thinking if you're trying to go see this movie, and thinking you're going to get that. It's still very much a Fast and the Furious movie with its goofy, ridiculous stuff that they do. But it also, at the same time, is self-aware, where Fast and Furious doesn't always seem that way. It seems like they're actually trying to be serious at times. This movie, like, there are some looks into the camera and stuff like that, and they obviously know what they're making. And that's the best part about it. There are a few cameos in this movie that almost stole the show. And yeah, it just made it that much more fun because they just knew exactly what they were doing, and they just leaned into that hardcore. And that's what made this movie that much better. In my rankings of the Fast and Furious movies right now, this jumps up pretty high because that bar has been set pretty low the past couple of films. I enjoyed parts of 7, but overall I didn't think it was that great of a movie. And yeah, 5 was like one of the last ones I truly enjoyed and thought was a really cool movie. But this movie like jumps up there right with those movies, like the original and everything like that, just because it's still not as good as the original or 5, but it's that perfect in-between of this is just ridiculous, dumb stuff, and still being so much fun to watch and just a really cool movie in general. So on my 5-star ranking scale, Hobbs and Shaw is going to sit 3.75 out of 5. I think is a reasonable thing because it's not perfect, but it is so much fun to watch. And if you're wanting to see a fun action movie with like a couple buddies, or you just want to go out and check it out for yourself, it's a high recommendation for me because it's just a blast to watch. And I can't really complain too much. I was smiling from ear to ear the entire time, and yeah, it's just a fun time at the movie theater, guys. So that's all for today. Please like the video, comment what you think about the movie. I'd love to chat with you. Please share the video, and please subscribe to the channel. It'll help me tremendously. I'm trying to grow this thing and have a blast doing it, so I want to try to branch out and maybe try to make a couple different other videos. Like I made a Quentin Tarantino ranking video that I might link around here. And you can read my old reviews that I used to write at thefilmfanreviews.blogspot.com. I'll put the link down here, and it'll also be in the description. And thank you so much for watching. Oh yeah, I made a Twitter page, The Film Fan Reviews. I believe the handle I will copy and paste it into the description as well. Please follow that. It would help tremendously as well. And I might even link my Facebook page in there, even though I pretty much just share things on there. But I'm starting to talk more on Twitter. So yeah, anyway, follow me on all that kind of stuff, and thanks for watching.